A lot of people have gotten dealt a bad hand, but it doesn't matter. You are responsible for fixing it. And you can't do that until you take responsibility. Hi, my name's Ken Seal, and let's keep talking addiction. Okay, now, in the last video, we went over the definition of denial. As I stated before, understanding denial and how it affects the alcoholic and addict and the friends and family of alcoholics and addicts is very important to understand. Now, just to review, the definition of denial is that denial is the natural tendency to not want to think or talk about negative things, about your problems. Makes sense, right? Don't want to talk about negative things. When negative things enter your mind, you want to push them away. And our brain is designed to help you push them away. It's also automatic and unconscious, so you don't even know you're doing it. And it's not just people with addiction issues that have denial. Everybody does it. As we stated before, you really can't function without the brain having that ability to do that. So what I want to do today is I want to go through some denial patterns. There are basically 12 of them that Mr. Gorski discusses, and I'm going to try to cover the first 6 today. And so here we go. Now, imagine, and I'm sure that some of you, friends, family members, have gone up to your person who you believe has issues with addiction and has made a comment about it. So you said, hey, John, I think you're drinking too much, or you seem to be smoking a lot of dope, or whatever. The response that you would get for that would be probably something like this. Yeah, so how did the Tigers do yesterday? Did they win? I know they've been having a good season. Oh, what the hell happened there? Well, it's quite simply avoidance. Avoidance is the first denial pattern. The avoidance person basically is not going to talk to you about what's happening or what you want to talk about. And they're going to change the subject, okay? And if every time you see that person, you bring that subject up, sooner or later, you're not going to see that person anymore, okay? They're just going to not only avoid the subject, they're going to avoid you, all right? So avoidant, I don't want to think or talk about the problem, and I'm going to change the subject every time you bring it up. The second one is called absolute denial. So again, you confront this person and you tell them that you believe they have issues with alcohol or drugs, and their response to you is going to be, I don't know what the heck you're talking about. Are you kidding me? I may be a lot of things, but I certainly am not an alcoholic or drug addict. Absolutely not. All right, what's happening here, again, it's absolute denial, is that there's no way that they're going to even consider the fact that they have a problem. All right? The interesting part here is, even though they're denying it absolutely, there's probably a little part of them inside that says, yeah, you're probably right, but I don't want to talk about it, okay? So absolute denial. All right. Now, the next 3 we're going to have some fun with. So imagine a husband and a wife, and the wife is having a conversation with the husband the day after Memorial Day. And the husband is talking to her like this. Where do you think he is? Well, guess what? He's in jail. Why is he in jail? He got a DUI. He got picked up for drunk driving. And so the conversation may go somewhere along this line. The wife. I can't believe this. I can't believe you did this. We had a great time at the picnic yesterday, and even though you were drinking a lot of beer, I didn't give any crap about it, didn't give you any problem about it. But when it was time to go home, I pleaded with you to let me drive. But no, you had to drive. And so here we are. Here we are. And now you've gotten a DUI, and I got to bail you out of jail. Response. Okay, I admit I had a problem. The problem is I'm in jail. I got arrested. But you know what? It's not that big of a deal. I've never gotten a DUI before, and it was the holidays, and so maybe I drank too much. And you know what the cops are like on the holidays. They're out looking to get people just to kick up their quotas. So, yeah, it's a problem, and I did get arrested, but it's not a big deal. This isn't a real big problem. So what's he doing? He's minimizing it. He may admit that there is a problem, but he's minimizing the problem. It isn't that big of a deal. All right. So let's fast forward a little bit during the summer. Now it's the 5th day of July. And guess what? There he is again. He's got another DUI. Now this time the wife is a little more upset, and she's really, she's not happy. I can't believe you did this. My God, after all the nonsense we've been through, the extra money for insurance, hiring lawyers, and all this stuff that we did, and you go out and and we went out again. We went out to the picnic, and you had a great time, and you let me drive home. Thank God for that. But then you decided that we needed to go out to the park to watch the fireworks. And I begged you to let me drive, but no, you had to go and do it again. And so here you are. You're stuck in jail, and you've got a second DUI in a matter of months. Are you out of your mind? Well, sweetheart, yeah, it was really stupid. I shouldn't have driven like that last night. But you have to understand all the pressure I've been under. I mean, that I've been working 24/7 at work, trying to get that stuff done, the projects we're working on, and we got to get them done. And I've just been under a lot of pressure. And so that's why I drink. I'm drinking because I need to relax a little bit. I'm under a lot of pressure, okay? I used to be a financial planner, and, I drank a lot. And my wife would, ask me, don't you think you're drinking too much? But you got to understand, I'm under a lot of pressure. I'm investing millions of dollars for my clients of their money, and I'm responsible for this. And so this puts me under a lot of pressure. And that's why I'm drinking. Or, Your Honor, these are prescription medications. That's why I had a problem. It's not my fault. The doctor prescribed it. So what we have here is, yes, there's a problem, but it's not my fault. There's some other reason for why I'm doing what I'm doing. It isn't because I have addiction issues or it's my problem or my fault. It's because of something else, some other person, place, or thing, okay? And now we come to the day after Labor Day. And guess what? There he is again. 3 times he's been in jail this summer. Now this time the wife is losing it, and she's screaming at him. I cannot believe you. This is absolute bullshit. I begged you not to go out yesterday and drive after all the drinking you were doing. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going home, but on the way home, I'm stopping at the bank. I'm taking all of our money out of our joint account. I'm going to another bank and open up my own account. Then I'm going to go home and I'm changing the damn locks on the door. And you're not coming back. And I'm taking all of your stuff. You remember you promised me you'd build me that nice fire pit in the backyard. Well, you never did you? Because you spent all your time drinking. Well, guess what? I built the fire pit, and I'm taking all your stuff. I'm sticking it in the fire pit, and I'm burning your stuff. So don't even bother to come home. Oh, by the way, I'm also going to see a divorce attorney. And she's pissed. And so she walks out of that jail. And she's slamming doors, and she gets in the car, and she squeals out of the parking lot. And you're sitting there going, oh my God. And one of the policemen walks in and said, hey, you're back here again? Oh my God. That's 3 times in a row. You got to be kidding me. I don't think I know anybody that's ever gotten DUIs for every holiday of the summer. Your response? Officer, did you see that woman that just left here? Yeah, you did. Okay, well, you know what? If you were married to her, you'd drink too. You see, it's somebody else. It's her fault. It's not my fault. It's her fault. Now, blaming and rationalizing are pretty close to each other, pretty much the same. But the blaming is where you specifically blame usually another human being. Okay? And unfortunately, we do a lot of that. I'll be honest with you, blaming was my biggie. Avoidance and blaming, but blaming was my biggie. Here was my response to anybody that gave me any crap about my drinking. You just don't understand. You see, my mommy, she didn't keep me on the tit long enough. And my dad never hugged me. The school said I was stupid, I was dumb, I'd never amount to anything. And the church said I was a sinner and I was going to burn in hell. I was a bad person. It's their fault. They're the reasons I am the way I am. It's not my fault. It's because of all those people. Man, I love to blame everybody for my problems. You know, it's society. It's my dad, my mom, whoever. The point is, we all do the blaming, and the blaming has got to stop, because when all is said and done, blaming isn't going to cut it. You know, it was interesting. When I was in treatment, I remember Judy, my good buddy Judy, I started in on my little whining about my mommy and my daddy, the church and the school. And then she looked at me and she says, you know, Ken, I understand all that happened to you, and maybe it shouldn't have, maybe whatever. But the bottom line is this: what you're doing by blaming other people is that you're giving them your power. You're giving them your power. And if they're the ones that are responsible for all your problems, and you are not responsible for any of your problems, then you can never change, because you're not doing anything wrong. It says you have to understand something. It doesn't matter what happened to you in the past. A lot of people have gotten dealt a bad hand, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You are responsible for fixing it. And you can't do that until you take responsibility. I read in a book once, and I'm trying to think of the name of the book. I'll probably think of it later, but the book basically talked about, playing cards. And, a lot of people believe when they're playing poker that they lose because they get a bad hand, but really it isn't. It isn't. It isn't the hand that you're dealt, it's how you decide to play the hand that you're dealt. And a lot of people that have been dealt a very bad hand in life have been able to become successful and happy and have a decent life because they've chosen to deal with that problem and make it positive. Okay? So I'm going to stop there. Those are the first 5. That's avoidance. Avoidance. In other words, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to change the subject. Absolute denial. I just absolutely say, no, it isn't a problem. Minimizing. Yeah, I've got a problem, but it isn't a big one. Rationalizing. Yes, I have a problem, but there's a reason for that problem, and it isn't my fault. And then blaming. You're blaming other people for your problems. Okay? So those are the first 5. We'll cover the next 7 next time. All right. See you next time. Cheers. Hi, my name's Ken Seal, and this is Let's Talk Addiction. Now, if you like what you've seen and you think it can be helpful, and I believe it can be, I've been helping hundreds of people for years, hit the like button and subscribe, and we'll keep these coming. Thank you.